Okay, thank you for joining me in today's lesson. In this lesson, we are going to be creating, posing, and modifying our biped using a couple different strategies here. So, excuse me, how do we get a biped into our scene and then start moving it around? Now, this is not actually animating it at all yet. This is just setting up the initial shape of our figure and our pose. In case that we want to do something different than the normal standing up biped. So if I look at the website, for example, I can go into this creating a biped. This is on the Autodesk website. And we can see that we insert it into the scene, and then we can make it look more like an animal in here. So let's get started. And I'm going to just insert a biped first. So under the Create tab, we're going to find it, but it's not under any of the standard tools that we've used so far. We have to go all the way over to Systems, because now we're not just adding one item or a shape, we're adding an entire body system. So under here, we're going to go to biped. We select it. You can change the structure of it before, or we can just set it and drag it out, and now we have our biped. Okay. Excuse me. Next thing that we want to do then is we want to be able to change things up. So on the initial biped, I can do whatever I want here. I have them having 4 fingers. By default, it has 1. You can do 5, but in this case, if I'm going to change it into an animal kind of like this, I might keep it 4. So let's bring that down. Toes, I'm going to keep 4. If you want to add a prop, you can. That's here. That will just add one thing to the arm. If you're going to change that out and have your biped walking around with an item, I would suggest starting with a prop, and we'll see why later. And you can set the height. If you want it a realistic height, I have mine set at inches. 60 inches would be 5 feet tall. I'm going to make them 66 inches, 5.5 foot tall. And I can also, I'll just zoom in a little more, I can also change the body type from skeleton to male, female, and so forth. In this case, I am going to actually leave it as skeleton because it's going to be a little easier for me to see what parts I'm manipulating in here. All right, so once we have that set up, if I click off of it, and now you can see that it's in my scene explorer here, and I clicked off of it, and I wanted to change the parameters again on this biped. Let me go like this. Okay, so I clicked off of it. Now, I click back on it. It's not letting me have the menu to change it. Normally, we would go into our modify menu, and it's still not letting me modify it. It doesn't have anything. I open up biped object, and there's nothing there. Excuse my cough. So let's see, how do we do that? Because usually the next step we have after we have our biped in our scene is to add motion to it and animate the biped. Everything is listed together in the menu for biped. So we're going to go to the motion panel here. And this is where we add footsteps, and we're going to make the biped walk and so forth. So I can do that here. I'm going to make my biped walk and blah, blah, blah. But we don't want to do that yet. First thing we want to do, and this is one of our questions in our classroom, and it will appear on our final exam most likely, that I want to change the way our biped looks. I want to edit them. So I'm going to go into actually under biped, if you don't have it expanded, expand biped, and change it into figure mode. That's going to let me edit the figure. And under structure, you may have to maximize this as well. Under structure, you're going to see all the changes that we had originally made. So I might start to pose my biped, and then I want to add something or take something away. I can change it here. So down here, I have a few options as well. that as we start to edit this, and let's say I want to shrink down my legs, and I'm going to scale this one down, okay? And I'm going to scale, maybe I only want to scale the height down for it, okay? So that would be this one. I'm going to shorten them up. I'm going to do the same to this one. Shorten that up to make it more like an animal leg. And I'm going to scale the foot down, okay, to make it more like a paw. If I do that and I do it to one side, we have down here where we can set everything symmetrical. So now if I select my part and I go on the right hand side, I can go to symmetrical, and we can edit that and bring those together. So what I would want to do is I would want to do that before I start my edit. So I'm going to undo my edit here, and let's just select the parts that I want to change. So I select the one femur. Now I can go down and I'm going to make them symmetrical. And now I can rescale one, and it's going to do them both at the same time. So this is a great way to make it so that I don't have to be clicking on and trying to find everything all at once. So I can scale those down. I can scale my feet, and okay, and so forth. I'm going to leave my arms the length they are for now until we get our biped to go and change the shape of it. So I can also, I'm going to do my body vertical here. What that does is that tips my XY from horizontal to vertical. And now I can start moving different parts of my biped by selecting them and using move and rotate. If I rotate the pelvis, it doesn't do anything by itself. It's not going to change the actual, like, bend the structure in half. I want to have my biped prone, so I'm going to rotate the entire biped, which is fine. So that way my pelvis and spine are there. But now that's the part that I can do. Now if I click on the legs, and I can do symmetrical here as well, now I should be able to rotate these down, okay, and have them. Now as I did that, you'll notice, okay, they swivel because they were rotated in or out. So I can change my rotation here of my femur, and then my tibia and fibula down here. I can do that as well. Hit symmetrical. And so it's, you want to be able to move those, kind of set them up. And we also want to, let's see, we don't want to have it going straight out. So we want to see how we can bend this at the knee. So this is where I was actually running into some issues with my last one. I need to troubleshoot this a little bit and see why is, all right, if I move just my foot. All right, so it wasn't letting me rotate at first. Maybe it will now. Okay, now it will. It had locked my knee up, and I don't know why. But in order to override it, okay, I use my move tool. Let me do it on the other side as well. And these feet, I don't have to have exactly symmetrical, because now I'm going to pose them a little different. All right, so how did I do that? Because once again, let me see if it's not letting me rotate this. So I'm going to grab my foot. I'm going to grab my move tool. Let me shut off my first biped. That one's kind of getting in the way. We want to have everything here shut off here. There. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my foot. And if I move my foot forward, it bends my biped. So that kind of shows me what my issue was. My femur was out of rotation. So I need to do a little bit of troubleshooting, and I can move this over and kind of set it up the way I need to. So feel free to experiment. And this part is kind of like playing with dolls here. So I'm going to start posing things, and then I have to figure out how to get this more set up. All right, that's not bad. And I'm going to move it forward. Maybe I can move this forward as well. Okay, and rotate my foot up. So we're going to see about what you can do in about one class period for this. You can start working on the rest. What else should we know here in order to set this up? Let's look at, let me grab it and just get this out of the way. I want to swing my arms down so that we get a little better view here. Okay. They're going to look weird for now. But let's say I want to change the shape of my face and my head. Okay, I'm going to, can I scale it here? If I scale this down as a uniform scale, it's not doing, let's see, what did it do? Making it narrower here. So I can start by that and change the general size and shape of the cranium. And then what I can do is I can find my head, and I can convert the entire head into an editable poly. This is going to let me do some extrusions and anything else that we had done before. So I can go, now that it's an editable poly, select the polygons, and if I want to see where all my divisions are in here, I can click on element. It will show me all the different parts here, and I can figure out what I want to reshape. So if I grab these 1, 2, 3, 4, I can move those in. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can change the shape of those. Maybe I'll rotate those down a little bit. And you can also use your extrude tools. So let's see, I don't want it to go up too far, but okay. So I'm not going to get too carried away with this introductory, but feel free to experiment, make your creature, and you will turn this in at the end here. And once you have it set up the way you like, I can go back and click on my biped here. Okay, go back to my motion, and I will turn off my figure mode, and then it locks my figure in place. And that is the new basic home shape of my figure. Okay, thanks for joining me in this first part of navigating around bipeds, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.